Margaret had been at the community hall since 7 that morning. She had folded every item herself, slowly, carefully. The way you handle things that still smell like someone you will never
The
stop
yellow
missing.
cardigan.
Sophie's yellow cardigan.
The gray
Sophie's gray
scarf.
scarf. Sophie's winter coat, the burgundy one with the brass buttons that Sophie wore every single December for 6 years because she said it made her feel like Christmas. Margaret had almost not brought the coat. She had stood in the hallway at home for a long time holding it. Then she thought Sophie would want someone to be warm, so she folded it, brought it, set it gently on the rack at the end, slightly apart from the others. Diane arrived at 11. She came in fast, expensive shoes, loud on the hall floor, phone in one hand, coffee in the other, already irritated before she reached the table. She moved through the rack
Nothing.
aggressively,
Absolutely nothing worth-
hangers scraping, pulling items out and
Where are the
pushing them
quality
back.
pieces?
Where are the good pieces? She said to no one. This is all rubbish. She reached the end of the rack, grabbed the burgundy coat, held it up. One button was loose. Margaret had meant to fix it. Diane saw the button and her expression curdled. She turned to Margaret and her voice rose to fill the entire hall.
Who donates something in this condition? This is disgraceful. I drove
Loud,
20 minutes
cutting,
for this.
Heads
Do you people
turning
have
from every
absolutely
corner.
no standards?
This
Is anyone even in
disgraceful.
charge here?
I drove 20 minutes for this. Do you people have absolutely no standards? Is anyone even in charge here? She threw the coat back onto the table. Margaret's hands moved to it immediately. She smoothed the fabric, straightened the collar. Her fingers found the loose button and held it the way you hold the last thing a person ever touched. A woman named Carol, who had been standing nearby, set down what she was holding and spoke clearly into the silence. That coat belonged to her daughter. The hall went completely still. She brought it here this morning. Her daughter passed away 5 weeks ago. She spent an hour deciding whether she was ready to let it go. Diane's coffee cup lowered slowly in her hand. She looked at the coat in Margaret's hands. At the loose button, Margaret was holding between her fingers. At Margaret's face, which had not cracked, which had not asked for anything, which was simply doing what grief does when it has no choice but to continue. Margaret looked up. Her
Some
voice
things
was
aren't for the
quiet
rack.
and completely steady. Some
just
things
wasn't
aren't for
ready
the
to
rack.
leave it at home
I
alone
just wasn't
today.
ready to leave it at home alone today. She folded the coat, set it gently aside on the chair behind her, away from the rack, away from the table, where it would stay until she was ready to carry it home again. Diane stood in the hall with nothing left to say and nowhere to put what she was feeling. Because grief doesn't announce itself. It walks in quietly, folds things carefully, and asks for nothing except the ordinary decency we owe every stranger. And sometimes the person behind the table holding everything together is holding far more than you will ever see.
Drop a heart if this story moved you.